Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Derek Lane. Another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. I appreciate you tuning in, listening, and all of the responses that I've gotten. Thank you so much. Hey, let's get started on another good week, another good episode. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what it takes to build a life that you truly desire, the life that you want, the life that you've always wanted, but something seems to be missing. Something seems to be out of place. Maybe a few things are out of place. So we start with the understanding of ourselves and who we are, what we do, and then we evaluate where we want to be. And I would encourage you to do this. Take a piece of paper. On one side, list all the things that you want, that you truly, this is the things that you want. And then on the other side, list the things in reality of the reality that you're living, and see the contrast between the two. You can bridge those gaps. You just have to start working on them. Okay? You have to start becoming the person and thinking in the mode that you are that person. You dress the way that you envision that you should dress, wear the shoes, comb the hair, all of that. Decide that you will make this happen. The decision to be a person of dedication is, sometimes it's hard. You have to really stop and think about what you're doing. You reflect about the things in the past and the things that didn't go right, and it starts to affect your future because the past didn't go right. Well, you've got to get rid of that. The past is the past, the future is the future. You live in the now. We've talked about all of that. Number one, stop the procrastination. If you want to make a change, you have to decide to do it right now. Not, I'm going to make a change next month when such and such happens. When I'm move out of this apartment, or when I finally get this car. And no, you start making changes to your life immediately. You look online and you see people, maybe in your social network, that seem to be doing better than you, and you're thinking, what's the deal? Well, just remember, my friends, there are people that are doing worse than you. Always. You're here to help those people. Directly, indirectly, it doesn't matter. But you can be a foundation for a lot of people. So I want to encourage you to, just for a little bit, forget what you know. Forget what you know and think about where you want to grow. Forget about all of the negative things that's been hampering you. Forget about all of the negatives that you have yet to let go of. That you need to, and build a positive relationship with yourself and others. Make sure that you set goals. Make sure that you're setting goals, and find out, the big question is, what makes you happy? What is the one thing that truly makes you happy? Or the things, not just one, but the things that make you happy. And that's where you need to develop yourself and to accentuate those things. Decide that you will stop at nothing to create the life that you dream of. And it can change as you get older. Our tastes change. Just like that, when you're younger, you didn't like broccoli. When you get older, broccoli's not so bad. Broccoli's pretty good. Our tastes change. Our ideas, our concepts, they do change. They mature. Your body and brain matures. Some of the things that you wanted to do as a young adult may not be the same things that you do now that you're an engaged adult that is working, and you're living life, you're taking vacations, you have spouse and children and whatever. And for those that haven't reached that, trust me, those things will change. They will change. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit. And you'll start to see that your mentality changes, your outlook changes. And that's not a bad thing, because sometimes we get what we need, not what we want, right? We've all heard that. But forget what you know. Forget what you know, because sometimes if we know everything, we know nothing. I know somewhere in an early podcast, I've kind of told this Zen story of the man that studied Zen, and he was all about Zen, and he knew everything about Zen, and he had an opportunity to go to Tibet and, on a mountaintop meet a Zen high priest. And when he got there, the Zen high priest there, in his white linen robe, whatever, says, "Welcome, my son." And the man says, well, thank you. And, let me just say it's an honor to meet you, and I appreciate you meeting with me. And, I really have studied everything, and I feel like that, this is a perfect opportunity for me, and yada, yada, yada. Well, the Zen high priest says, just kind of like take a breath. "Would you like some tea?" And the guy says, oh, yeah, tea's fine, great. And he keeps going on about Zen and everything that he's learned. And as the Zen high priest is pouring the tea into the cup, it reaches the top and starts to overfill onto the saucer. And yet he keeps pouring. And the saucer becomes full, and then it starts to overflow into the man's lap. And finally it gets his attention. He says, "Oh, hold it. You're spilling everything. It's overflowing." The Zen high priest says to the man, "You are like the cup. You are so full of everything, you have room for nothing else. You are so full of what you know, you have no room for anything else." And that's what I want you to consider in your own life. Sometimes we need to let go of what we know and what we think is right, what we think is the perfect choices for us, and to keep an open mind. Add room for things. Continue to learn. Continue to develop. Continue to be a person on a spiritual path, a person on a financial path, physical path, relationship path. Continue to develop all facets of your life. Set little mini goals. Celebrate the victories. Try not to languish in the defeats. They're all there. They teach us everything from humility to, growing experiment. So it's imperative that you continue to grow your life and to change your life and to build the life to the way that you want it to be. You have to set forth on all of these facets, kind of taking stock of who you are. Maybe it's networking people. Maybe it's networking the people that you currently don't do. In your daily habit and in who you are, maybe it's time to think about that. Maybe it's time to reflect upon the things that you do on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. If it's not getting where you want to be, maybe it's time to be a little radical. Maybe it's time to do something just a little different than you've done in the past. Maybe it's time to ask for help. Maybe it's time to reach out and say, "Hey, I like where you're at. How did you get there? Can you help me?" If you'll decide in your life that you're not going to give up, that you're not going to let little setbacks destroy you, you're not going to let other people dictate your life, that you're going to be the person that you want to be, if you'll decide unequivocally that you're going to do what it takes to succeed in your journey in this short period of time that we have on this earth, and most of all, first and foremost, decide to be happy. Don't wait for it. Don't believe that something's got to happen before you're happy. Start right now. Right this very moment. Decide you're going to be happy. Give thanks for the things that are going good in your life. I don't care what your circumstances situation. There's got to be something good in your life. Accentuate the thing that's best in your life. Whether it's your relationship with your significant other, your relationship with your higher power, the community, whatever it is. Accentuate the things that makes you the happiest. Build upon that. Understand that other people have problems. No one's perfect. And for me, that's the beauty of life. If it were perfect, we'd have no room to grow. We couldn't experience new things. We couldn't experience challenges, sometimes beating the odds. We are here to be happy and to teach others around us to be happy. That is the essence of life. So make it your duty to find your own happiness and then to transfer that happiness to those around you, to help others around you, to be the best you can be all of the time and be happy. I kind of got started in this podcast, and I kind of had a direction that I wanted to go. Then I thought about it, and I just thought that for whatever reason, this segment just felt right. Segment felt like, this is something that I should talk about. That you have to stop sometimes, take stock of who you are, reboot, forget some of the garbage that you know, some of the junk that you've learned, clean out the closet, so to speak, and just get down to the bare basics of who you are and understand how you can be a better person and understand your intuitive, guttural feelings that, what's the old saying? If it feels right, do it. There's a lot to be said for that. So if it feels good, do it. Just make sure you're on the right path. Listen, thank you for joining me once again on the podcast. I appreciate everybody that tunes in, and I would ask a favor from each person listening. Make it a point to like and share this with someone else. If you get any benefit at all out of any of these podcasts, like and share. I just feel like this is one thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I could not do this and just stick with my practice of consulting and speaking, and I'm okay. But I really want this to be something that people can tune into and value. And yes, a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people have sent me emails, and I appreciate that. With your help, we can extend that and continue to help other people. This program is on the different outlets. Again, I've talked about that in other podcasts. Google Play and iTunes and iHeart and all of that. Just like and share, leave positive comments. Derek at FastlanePodcast.com. Derek at FastlanePodcast.com. You can reach me, send me an email. You can just say hi. Just say hi. Hello. I listened. I enjoyed it. Whatever. Or I didn't understand something. Whatever you want to say. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Derek at FastlanePodcast.com. And with that, I think, I think your week's going to be great. I think your week's going to be awesome. Accept who you are. Put the things into play and the motion to be who you want to be. And it's going to be great. All right. Thank you guys so much.